Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news, all right, folks. Buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could shake the NFC East to its core. Rumors are swirling that the Miami Dolphins might be looking to trade Tyreek Hill, the explosive wide receiver who's been one of the league's most electrifying playmakers over the past few seasons. And the target, the New York Giants. Yeah, you heard that right. As wild as it sounds, the chatter is gaining momentum, and honestly, it could be a game changer for both teams and the entire division. First off, let's paint a picture of Tyreek Hill's current situation. The guy is a game breaker. In 2025, he's been on fire, racking up 89 receptions for 248 yards and 7 touchdowns in just 14 games. His average of 14 yards per catch is phenomenal, and he's proven to be a deep threat that defenses simply can't keep up with, especially when he's fully healthy. His career total yards surpass 800 with 70 touchdowns, and he's considered one of the top-tier wideouts in the league, with a PFF grade of 88. 7. His EPA per target sits at an impressive 0.25, and he's big on yards after catch, averaging 5.8 yards per reception. Contested catches. He's at 59%, and he's only dropped 2 passes this year, contributing to a total of 19 big plays over 40 yards. But, as is often the case with the NFL's most explosive players, Hill's been battling injuries. A calf strain in 2025 cost him 3 games, and it's always a concern when talking about a player who's already 31. Still, his overall PFF grade of 95 for receiving indicates he's playing at a very high level. Comparing him to other top WRs like Ja'Marr Chase, he's right there in terms of yards after catch and overall impact. Now, why would Miami even consider trading Hill? Well, the Dolphins are in a bit of a tricky spot. They finished 5-12 in 2025, and their cap situation isn't ideal. They're sitting on a $38 million cap space for 2026, but with about $19 million in dead money. They're also dealing with a rebuild, especially on defense where their PFF grade is around 77. 4, which isn't exactly stellar for a team aiming to contend. The Dolphins are prioritizing extensions for Waddle and trying to free up cap space, with the idea of rebuilding their roster around younger talent. Trading Hill, who costs around $29. $4 million in 2026 could free up some much-needed cap room and help them reset. Plus, they're looking at the bigger picture, and a rebuild might be their best shot at competing again in a few years. On the other side, the Giants' wide receiver group has been a weak link this season, especially after the Robinson injury. Their passing game has struggled, averaging a mere 190 yards per game through the air. Adding a player like Hill could be the kind of jolt that transforms their offense overnight. Imagine what a guy like Hill could do in Brian Daboll's system, stretching the field, creating big plays, and making life easier for Daniel Jones. The Giants could project around 300 yards and 9 touchdowns from Hill, with a plus 22% increase in EPA per pass. His presence would open up routes for guys like Neighbors, who with Hill on the field could see a plus 2 yards per route increase compared to 1.5, and it's not just the passing game. Hill's ability to boost the run game as well, with yards per carry jumping from 4.1 to 4.8, makes him a true offensive weapon. His history with the Dolphins shows he can be a difference maker, adding around 260 yards and 16 points per game on average. His yards after catch are elite, at over 100 yards YAC, and he's contested catches at 62%. His red zone EPA at 0.28 indicates he's clutch when it matters most. Plus, his presence would give the Giants a significant boost in possession time, about 16% more, and improve the overall offensive PFF grade from 73.5 to over 90. Now, let's talk about the implications of such a trade. The odds for the Giants to win the Super Bowl are currently around plus 25-0, which is pretty long, but if they land Hill, those odds could jump dramatically, possibly to plus 6-0. His addition would not only elevate their offense, but could also be a key factor in making a deep playoff run, especially considering his postseason experience, racking up 550 yards in his career, and serving as an X factor when it counts. His history against the Cowboys, with a 23% win rate, shows he's capable of delivering in big moments, and his cap flexibility would give the Giants some room to maneuver with other signings or extensions. From a strategic standpoint, this trade makes a lot of sense for the Giants. They're looking to capitalize on their window of opportunity, and adding a player like Hill could be the move that pushes them over the top. The NFC is rebuilding, teams are shifting, and the Giants need to stay ahead of the curve. Hill's explosiveness and big play ability could give them the edge they need, especially in tight games. His ability to create space and produce big plays aligns perfectly with what Brian Daboll wants on offense: fast, dynamic, and unpredictable. Of course, there are some skeptics. The Dolphins at 5-12 are clearly in a rebuild mode, and trading Hill now could be seen as a gamble. After all, he's still a top-tier WR. But the potential cap savings, combined with the assets they could acquire in return, might justify the move. The Dolphins are also betting on their younger players and draft picks to reshape their roster, and trading Hill could be part of that master plan. The Giants, meanwhile, would be acquiring a true game-changer. His speed, agility, and big play ability could be the final piece to their offensive puzzle, especially if they want to compete with the top teams in the NFC. So what's next? Well, the NFL trade deadline is approaching, and all signs point to a flurry of activity. If the Giants can pull this off, it could redefine their season. Imagine Daniel Jones launching bombs to Hill or throwing quick screens that turn into long touchdowns. The defense might get a break, knowing they have a revolution on offense that keeps the opposing defense on its heels. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off big time if executed correctly. The NFC East is already competitive, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders all vying for supremacy. Adding Hill could be the X factor that puts the Giants ahead of the pack and makes them serious contenders once again. And of course, the fans are buzzing. Social media is flooded with speculation, and everyone is dreaming about the possibilities. The Giants' front office will have to weigh the cost, the cap implications, and the potential impact on team chemistry. But if they pull the trigger, it's going to send shockwaves through the league. This isn't just about acquiring a star, it's about making a statement, saying the Giants are all in, ready to contend, and willing to do whatever it takes to bring another Lombardi trophy back to New York. So stay tuned, Giants fans. The coming days could be some of the most exciting in recent franchise history. Whether or not this trade happens, it's clear that the Giants are looking to shake things up. They're building a team that's fast, explosive, and hungry for success. The NFC East is about to get even more interesting, and you can bet that the Giants will be right in the middle of it, fighting for every inch and every yard. The future is bright, and if they land Tyreek Hill, well, we might just be talking about a whole new era of Giants football, one filled with big plays, high hopes, and a shot at glory. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the Giants should go all in and try to acquire Tyreek Hill? Would you trade multiple draft picks for a player who could transform your offense overnight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest news surrounding your team. Let's keep the conversation going, and as always, keep the faith. Because the Giants are always in the hunt, and this offseason could be the start of something special.